Yes, we're gonna go live. Hey, what is going on, guys? It is that time once again. You are checking out an all new the RCWR show coming at you guys for Saturday night of August the 18th, 2018. What's up, guys? Now, you guys got to work with me a little bit because we're trying out something new. This is somewhat of a new rollout feature that we're doing for you guys. As you can see, we did a little bit of a facelift with regards to how we're streaming the shows, and I have been learning some new tricks in between the shows for the past couple of weeks, but I've really been pushing it forward the past couple of days because it ties into a special announcement that we're going to be announcing real soon with regards to the future of how you guys are going to be able to access the RCWR show. But more on that very soon, sooner rather than later. But for now, kick on back, man. Covering the very latest in wrestling, entertainment, and beyond since 2011. You are checking out the RCWR show. If you're new, welcome. Make sure you hit that subscribe button down below and click on the bell icon so you never miss out. NXT Takeover Brooklyn 4. Woo, daddy. We were just on here less than 24 hours ago where I said, you know what, this should be a home run. I should see no reason why this event would be a disappointment, because when it's all said and done, these takeover events, they never disappoint. Since when have you known a takeover event to disappoint? Like, seriously. So I have to say, overall tonight, the men, the women on this event, fantastic job. As always, hitting a home run and basically saying to that main WWE roster, hey, come on, guys. Y'all are the main ones. It's all about setting you guys up properly. Come on, bring it on home. Bring everybody on home. Those in attendance and those at home, bring it on home. So, as always, NXT, the roster, they always do a phenomenal job in setting the table for the main WWE stars, man. I'm telling you, loving it. All right, so I am doing some new thingamajiggas, as you can see. All right, and if you're checking out the stream, you can see that we have the chat room. So we nice little thing, kind of nice, especially for those that, you know, maybe want to see what's going on demand or whatnot. So I think that's kind of cool. And the other cool thing that we got going on here later on during the show, I will definitely open up the phone lines. I told you guys on this past Tuesday's RCWR show, we were going to see about maybe whether or not we could open up a phone line for you guys to call in. Those of you that want to talk about the TakeOver event and or SummerSlam. So just keep on listening for your opportunity to call into the show and tell me what you had thought about the NXT TakeOver event. If my audio is a little bit too loud, let me know, because it may not be your end. It may just have to do with some of my settings over here. If there is a little bit of any lag, try refreshing, because it may have to do with your internet connection. If you have a strong internet connection, then, you know, honestly, it's probably nothing at your end. Just let me know if you're experiencing any hiccups, because we're trying some new software tonight, all right? So let's go ahead. You know, I sadly did not get a chance to check out the pre-show. And it was weird because I was under the impression that the pre-show was going to be coming on at, I want to say 7. I was under the impression that the pre-show was going to be at 7. However, you guys correct me if I'm wrong, the actual pay-per-view event itself for TakeOver tonight, it actually had began at 7 p.m. Eastern. And that really had threw me off, because I'm going, wait a minute. I missed a pre-show? So I'm kind of going, what the hell? So far as I know, there wasn't any pre-show matches that had came about. I'm looking at the entire card as we speak. But I was actually pretty disappointed. I thought for sure I was going to be able to see 1 or 2 pre-show matches. But I take a little bit of comfort knowing that there were no pre-show matches for the TakeOver, you know, pre-show and all of that. And there was the Pete Dunne taking on Zach Gibson. That was a singles match for the WWE United Kingdom Championship. Sadly, That was not a pre-show like some of us had anticipated when we heard about that match. That match actually is being taped for a future episode of NXT. I know, right? Kind of a bummer. Would have been cool, but hey, you know, it is what it is, man. Seriously. All right, so let's go ahead. Let's jump right into this event here. So we only had 5 matches on the card tonight. Kicking things off, we had the Undisputed Era, Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong taking on Mustache Mountain's Tyler Bate and Trent Seven. God, man, that was a hell of a strong opening to the pay-per-view event, I must say. I keep saying pay-per-view event, but, you know, it wasn't a pay-per-view event because you can't see this on pay-per-view. So you guys got to forgive me, but I'm going to continue to say that. Wow, this is so cool because something else that I'm noticing here with regards to us being live right now, and this is so cool. Like, I don't know how many of you guys, just a sidebar note, I don't know how many of you guys know people that maybe are deaf, but like, or maybe extremely hard of hearing. But something that I think is really cool when you're checking out the streams live here on YouTube, I'm just now seeing this. Talk about awesome technology. Closed captioning has improved dramatically from what I'm seeing here. There used to be a time where once a stream was over, anybody that wanted to contribute closed captioning for those that are hearing impaired, you'd be able to type it up and submit a little something, kind of like you pass it around and everybody can contribute. But I'm streaming here and by accident I have closed captioning on. It's just my way of making sure you guys are getting a really good solid stream, and I'm seeing closed captioning is on and it's catching every single thing that I say. I just think that is so awesome. Like, don't mind me, but like the little things, because for us YouTube video creators, that's the one audience that you'd be surprised. There's a lot of people that are hearing impaired that check out a lot of content on YouTube, and they rely very heavily on closed captioning. And the problems we had in the past was you had to put in the closed captioning yourself or hire somebody to type whatever the hell you're saying. And now it seems that YouTube is automatically able to generate closed captioning. So just the little things. I think that's pretty badass. Well, very, very badass. Anyways, sorry about getting sidetracked. Let's get back to the action. So, yeah, I like the way that NXT TakeOver had began tonight with the tag titles on the line. NXT tag titles. Great opener. Great freaking opener. Loved it. All these matches in general, I would have to say the ring psychology was just through the roof. I love the ring psychology. That's the thing when it comes to NXT, and it's so sad that there aren't more and more people latching on to NXT, because you have that vocal community that's out there. They can't stand what they see on WWE Raw. They can't stand what they see on SmackDowns. SmackDown, not SmackDowns. I wish there was some SmackDowns. Well, by the time you get ready and you watch these shows, sometimes you do want to do some SmackDowns to, like, the people that gave you what the hell was some mediocre stuff at times. But no, in all seriousness, you know, we got people that are so vocal about what they don't like in today's WWE product when they look at Raw or they look at SmackDown. They look at the joint pay-per-views and they go, but like when you tell them, oh, well, NXT, they don't care for it. They don't want to make an investment into it. But if there's one thing I can definitely say, as long as I have been covering NXT seems to be getting more and more bigger, just from the fan base perspective. And I think those of you that's been watching pretty much since day one would agree with me. It seems as though they've really been cranking it up. And I think, honestly, give it about maybe 3 more years, 5 at most, and I really feel that the NXT brand, it's definitely, some would make the argument, it's already a full-blown brand in itself. It is a traveling brand in itself. But I just feel in my heart of hearts that in under or at a max of 5 years, NXT itself
is going to have some very strong, significant weight to it, especially when you just look at all of the cats that have rolled through NXT so far. I mean, you talk about some serious brand recognition, brand awareness, and everything, right? So, you know, it's just next time you get somebody that takes a crap on what they're seeing with today's NXT, with today's WWE product, with the mega shows, tell them, hey, check out NXT. You ain't got that much to lose. You got a lot to gain. But if there's one consistency that we as NXT fans can always rely on with these events, bringing it on home now, is the fact that every single match you get on these takeover cards, the ring psychology is always there. And I am just a sucker for really good in-ring psychology, because for me it goes back to when I was a little kid growing up on pro wrestling in the 80s. And the psychology alone for the last man standing match for the NXT Championship, some of the best. I'm telling you, this feud that's been going on between Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano, it needs to all be documented and placed on a nice little DVD, and it needs to be Rivalry 101. Seriously, for all future talents that's going to be coming into the WWE, this is the DVD that they need to see, because this is like, when you break it down, it's almost like 3 years in the making of what we've been seeing with these two guys and their freaking feud going on. Just some awesome stuff, man. But closing moments of the NXT Tag Team Championship match here. Let's go ahead, pull up the notes here. And as I'm pulling up the notes, we do have a poll asking you guys, what did you think about tonight's NXT TakeOver event? Head on over to youtube.com/the RCWR Show. Click on the Communities tab page. Cast your vote that way. You can also vote via Twitter. Give me a follow over there as well, and on Facebook at the RCWR Show. So, closing moments of this matchup, we saw Seven, who had tried to go for a tag, but O'Reilly had kept a really good hold on him. Good hold, nice and locked in. Nice good hold. Seven then steps through the ropes. Strong and O'Reilly, they had took advantage of the referee as the ref was distracted. Seven goes for the timekeeper's area and brings a towel to the apron. Kind of shades of what went down a while back. You're thinking, oh no, not again, please, not again. Don't throw the towel, please, whatever you do. Don't throw the towel. Not right now. Come on. It seems like you guys are so close. But he changed his mind. Throws the crowd to the crowd instead. From there, Strong gets knocked out as well. Gets knocked to the outside. Bate is still in the hold, but he inches over to Seven. Seven gets the tag, and the hold is broken as a result. Seven unloads on O'Reilly and drops him with a nice, good, strong lariat. Only gets him a 2 count. Bate tags in, goes to the top as Seven lifts O'Reilly. We then see Strong hit Bate, but gets knocked down to the floor. They hit the burning hammer, but O'Reilly kicks out 2 again. Fans eating this up. We see Strong. He leaps out of nowhere with a jumping knee on Bate. They take out Seven's knee and drop him next as O'Reilly goes for the cover and the W, the 1, the 2, and the 3. So you see in that, you're going, wow. I mean, great tag team match. It was about almost 20 minutes long, give or take. But post-match is where things had really got interesting. And if you are a big fan of Ring of Honor, you know, I've been talking about 2 guys in particular from Ring of Honor, and I actually was pretty damn happy a couple of months back when I had heard that they were making their way on over to the WWE. I'm going, oh yes, please let this happen. Please let this happen. And finally it did go down. And of course, I'm talking about Hanson and Rowe, the War Raiders as they're being dubbed. We saw these guys, they attacked the living hell out of O'Reilly and Strong. I mean, they did. Ooh, good, nice number, man. I was eating all of that up. You know, to see my man Hanson, god damn, as big as Hanson is, and for you guys that maybe didn't watch NXT and you're still kind of, not really sure who's who and everything like that, when you look up Hanson, this dude, he's not even 36. I think he's 34, 35. He's about maybe 6'3", weighs over 300 pounds. You thought Kevin Owens could move pretty damn quick. When you see this big man Hanson, you're going, man, Kevin Owens ain't got nothing on you, brother. You move quick as a cat. And the fact that he is able to do a suicide dive with ease. I mean, he moves like a cruiserweight. I'm telling you, I'm really glad that Hanson and Rowe are involved with the WWE. I really am, because they definitely, I feel, are going to be a huge impact in the tag team division, just in general, man. But they made some really good, strong impression. A strong impression on O'Reilly and Roderick Strong. So looks as though we know what's going to be going on for the Undisputed Era next. As far as the tag team championship goes, it looks as though we're going to be seeing, pardon me, I was checking something out there. It looks like we're going to be checking out Hanson and Rowe feuding with O'Reilly and Roderick Strong next. And I agree with Mark in the chat. Yes, Hanson moves like Vader, if not quicker. If not quicker. I know we're so quick to go with the usual suspects, but I don't know, guys. Hanson, it might be a situation where you have to compare tape versus tape versus tape to actually kind of see like who moves the quickest, who has more flexibility and all of that. But man, I tell you what, Hanson, he's right up there with Vader. I would definitely say that. Let's go ahead. Let's talk about the next matchup that came about, which was Velveteen Dream taking on EC3. Another good matchup. I told you, as far as what I was looking for, as far as match of the night, like this was a pleasant surprise, really good match of the night. We already knew that with regards to Last Man Standing, we knew that was going to hit a home run. But it's kind of like, okay, well, aside from that, what other matches are really going to freaking deliver, right? And remember, we were just here less than 24 hours ago, and I said to you guys, my God, we have, at that point, I said 6 matches because I included the United Kingdom Championship, but that's being taped for an episode of NXT, so really, it's down to 5 matches. And when I looked over the card Friday night, I basically said, look, you've got, out of 5 matches, you got at least 3 that are really, really gonna deliver. There's just maybe 1, possibly 2 that you're kind of putting a question mark on. But I definitely had put over Velveteen Dream taking on EC3. I felt that one was going to be the surprise. Oh, I didn't know this was going to be as good as it sounded on paper. I thought what they did was okay. Honestly, looking at these 2 names on paper, knowing what Velveteen Dream is capable of, I really was looking at EC3 and going, okay, well, can EC3 keep up with Velveteen Dream? Or is Velveteen Dream going to have to dumb it down a little bit to try to complement EC3's style, right? And for me, looking at this match, I would have to say, in all honesty, it didn't really come off. I'll ask you guys, did it come off as if Velveteen Dream kind of dummied up a little bit working with EC3? For me, I don't believe he did. It seemed like the usual Velveteen Dream that we get. Didn't really seem like he was toning it down just to try to compliment Ethan. And for me, I thought that these two had a really damn good matchup as well. I was quite surprised from the gyrations from Velveteen Dream as he comes on out. By the way, that was a really great video package that they did recapping the feud and all that. And we have Velveteen Dream just standing in darkness with his nice purple blazer on, and he's just pointing his finger in the air, talking hot mess as you got all this nice purple smoke, or as I like to go, purple haze, all around him and everything. I was loving. I was eating that up, man. Seriously, I was eating that up, and I tell you, give me Velveteen Dream 24/7 against whoever. Velveteen Dream can freaking just go out there and he can wrestle a freaking watermelon for all I care. I know it's going to be freaking entertaining as hell. I was expecting a little bit more from both of them. I wouldn't say that the match was, and you know me, guys, I don't like going with the whole star system. I'm now gotten to that point where I want to not really do a star system. Either the match is a pass or it's a fail. The match is a pass. It was good, but it wasn't exactly a home run as far as I was concerned. It wasn't a smashing, but it was good. It was okay for what they did. I don't know. Maybe you could make the argument. You guys got to bear with me a second here, because the missus is sending me something here. Hang on. I sadly cannot do anything. Let me see what's going on here. Okay, no problem. Hang on a second, guys. This is actually important. I'm so sorry. Let me do voice recognition. If I can do voice recognition. And I can't do voice recognition. Okay, so I will just say doing a show now. Talk to you later. Okay, sorry about that, guys. Just the missus giving me a heads up about something important there. Okay, cool. So anyway, where were we? It was average. Yeah, EC3 and freaking Velveteen Dream, it was average as far as I was concerned. But, they did all right. They did all right for the most part. Talk about the closing moments of that matchup. I'm so sorry for the brain fart there, but you know how it is. Like, you're in that zone, and next thing you know, you get an important text or call or whatever, and it kind of throws you off a little bit. So the closing moments of this matchup here, according to my notes, we had a situation come about where EC3 and Velveteen Dream, they were fighting in the corner. EC3 was a little bit on the offense, and he was holding it down for a little bit, unloading on the Dream. And then we see Dream, he came in with a shot to the throat, because he finally had managed to get in a opening of offense on Ethan. Then Dream goes to the top, looking for a top rope maneuver, but EC3 pushes him to the mat. EC3 then tries to go to the top. He actually dives with a crossbody, but Dream ends up rolling him, only got him a near fall. EC3 then slaps Dream and power bombs the hell out of him. EC3 looks around as the crowd, they're loving this, they are eating it up. EC3 lifts Dream again and hits him with a sit-down powerbomb this time, but that only got him a near fall as well. EC3 then places Dream up on top. They're going back and forth a little bit more. EC3 climbs up looking for a superplex, and he does connect. EC3 then clutches his own back and is a little bit reluctant, kind of sluggish a bit as he's getting back up. Tries to go for a cover. Dream kicks out at 2. So fast forward a little bit more. We saw in the closing moments, EC3, he connect with a German suplex. Near fall once again. EC3 then brings Dream to the apron, but Dream counters and hits the, trying to remember how it went down. I think they were fighting over the apron. Dream counters. I think he might have did a DDT over by the apron. Not really sure. But Dream definitely went up to the top, connected with a big elbow drop while EC3 was still on the apron. Dream jumps back in the ring, rolls over EC3, goes for the cover. You're 1, you're 2, you're 3. And that was pretty much it. Velveteen Dream picking up the win. So good for him, because originally the way that I had this set up, I actually was going for EC3. I kind of felt that EC3 needed it more, but I'm actually really glad that Velveteen Dream had got it. I don't think these guys are done by a long shot, though. I kind of feel as though that these guys in their feud is just getting started, so we'll actually wait and see how that pans out. Let's go on to our next matchup. By the way, Matt Riddle was in attendance. They had showed him, as many of you all know, rumblings were that he signed with the WWE. And, you know, a couple of people had asked me, hey, Lee, what do you think about Matt Riddle? What do you think about Matt Riddle? And, you know, sadly, with regards to Matt Riddle, I know he did a lot of stuff for... God, I mean, he's been like a renaissance man. I mean, he's done stuff for Evolve. He's done stuff for 5-Star Wrestling. He's done stuff for Keystone Pro Wrestling, IWA, Westside Extreme Wrestling. I mean, he's pretty much been a little bit all over the place. But sadly for me, all the promotions that he's hit up, I was not able to check out any of his stuff. Not one thing I was able to check out. And I'm a little bit familiar about his MMA background. That much I am kind of able to connect on. And, you know, just from a little bit of what I've seen of him gimmick-wise, he kind of has a little bit of a Zack Ryder vibe. That's honestly the vibe he gives me. And I'm just kind of curious how things are going to be panning out once he begins work in NXT. How exactly is his gimmick going to be coming about? Because is it going to be a situation where he's basically going to be Zack Ryder 2.0, and Zack Ryder, I don't know, Zack Ryder is given a little bit of a tweak, or, you know, maybe you pair these two up. What exactly is the game plan? So, but just a little bit that I know about him from the MMA stuff, and I have seen a little bit of his work as a pro wrestler online. You know, for me, I got to see a little bit more. You know, I know a lot of people are really big supporters of his. They're big fans of his. But for me, the verdict is still a little bit out. I need to see a little bit more. So you guys got to forgive me if I really... Hey, at least I'm not bad-mouthing the guy. All I'm saying is I got to actually see a little bit more of this guy before I can really comment further about him. But we saw him in NXT. So, you know, kind of similar to the other guys that have popped up over the years, and we see them in attendance. You're going, oh, okay, all right, nice. By the way, speaking of people in attendance, Mark Henry as well as Kevin Owens were in attendance at tonight's NXT Takeover event. So nice that we had saw them. Mark Henry getting a little bit more guy before I can really comment. Hold up. Mark Henry getting a little bit smaller there from what I was seeing. It's like, damn, Henry, how much more smaller are you going to get, brother? Seriously. You guys enjoying the stream so far? If you are, make sure you smash the like button. If you have not subscribed yet, please do so and click on the bell icon down below so you never miss out on future content. Programming note, we're going to be coming at you guys live on Sunday night, August the 19th, 2018. We're going to be... I think we're going to simulcast. I'm pretty sure we are going to simulcast, but I'm going to try to keep things a little bit simplistic. We'll be simulcasting again on YouTube, and we'll also be simulcasting on Spreaker. I'm just debating on whether or not I should get Facebook involved. I think I will be getting Facebook involved, but I got to make sure that with the new setup that we're doing, because I've been playing around with some interesting software behind the scenes to really be able to better enhance you all's listening and viewing experience when you're checking out the shows each week. I don't know. I think I'm going to go ahead, if I do stream Facebook, I think we're going to have that be a separate entity. Like maybe I'll have Facebook streaming on my phone and kind of give people a little bit of a bird's eye view, so to speak. I think that would make a little bit of sense that way. It's me. It's not like the computer can't handle it. But since I'm messing around with this new software, that's the thing. I don't really know if it can really handle all of what I plan on doing. So rather be safe than sorry, right? Let's continue on. Let's talk about our next matchup here. We had it was the North American Championship, the NXT North American Championship. Ricochet defeating Adam Cole, baby, to become your new NXT North American Champion. Honestly, this did not surprise me. Excuse me, this did not surprise me. Kind of following up on what I had said less than 24 hours ago, which if you missed, basically from friends that I know of, or friends of a friend, or friends of a friend of a friend, who have been to NXT shows, all the intel that I've been getting was, hey, this Ricochet guy, he's freaking badass. Man, well, the entire NXT roster, they're badass, but dude, this Ricochet dude, he is freaking killing it. And this is coming from people that are either NXT diehards, or they make it their business to know who's who on the free agency market, and or combination, all of that, and just, you got people that just love their pro wrestling. But from all the people that I've been able to talk to, information I've been able to obtain, Ricochet is just white hot right now. And he's definitely been doing his part in helping push the prices at the ticket. He's been helping push the gate prices for these NXT shows. So, for me, honestly, I'm really not surprised that the brass decided they were going to go with Ricochet. I mean, look at the guy. He's got a great freaking look. Yeah, the personality, I will admit, it's still, I won't say rough around the edges, because Lord knows that when he first popped up in NXT, yeah, but he is showing, to me at least, I'm not sure how it is for you guys, but he's definitely showing improvements. And I think, honestly, he can only get better, and I like what I'm seeing of the young man so far. I mean, my God, anytime you have Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson giving you an endorsement, that's a pretty big deal as far as I'm concerned. But no, honestly, this is a guy I watched down in Lucha Underground, was tearing it up over there, and I couldn't be more happier for the young man. And I think, honestly, the timing of him in NXT, it serves his purpose right now. And let the good times roll is all I have to say. Let's talk about how the closing moments of that match came about too, by the way, which was a really damn good matchup. I must say, I did enjoy that one a lot. So closing moments of this one, we actually had, and the fans were really, really tearing into this one. We saw a spot come about towards the end where both of these guys letting it all out, man, unleashing all hell of fury offense on one another as the crowd was just eating this up. We saw Cole go for enziguri. Ricochet came right back with a jumping knee. Cole then took 2 shots to the face. Ricochet drops Cole, but Cole falls on him. That only got a 2 count. From there, we also saw Ricochet. At one point, he was ending up playing possum to try to pull Cole in for a big move. Ricochet goes to the top, but Adam moves out the way. Ricochet goes on and hits a huge hurricanrana, sending them both out to the floor. And Mauro Ranallo, I mean, he is just eating this up. Mauro really bringing the energy. And I gotta say, my man freaking Nigel McGuinness, I don't know if Triple H and Mauro, or maybe if Michael Cole's been talking to him, but I tell you what, he's really been bringing out a lot more energy as of late. That just has me going, damn, Nigel, I didn't know you had this type of personality in you, because he's always just been so monotone. It's just the same execution every single time you hear him talk. You don't know if Nigel's sad, you don't know if he's angry, or you don't know what's going on with him. He's always the same, but he was showing a lot of emotion during this broadcast tonight. And I got to give him a lot of credit. I think he's really taking his cues from the people that's in his ear. And there ain't nothing wrong with that. Honestly, overall, it's making him a better color guy. And there's nothing wrong with that. Getting back to the match, we then saw, like I said earlier, they took the action outside the ring to the floor. Eventually, they did manage to bring it back in. Ricochet goes to the top, hits the 630, goes for the pin, wins the title that way. Your new NXT North American Champion, one and only Ricochet. Congrats to Ricochet. We had up next the NXT Women's Championship. Kairi Sane taking on Shayna Baszler. We got a new women's champion in Kairi Sane. That one I honestly did not expect to happen. This is probably the one that was most surprising for me. I'm not really sure how many people had called this one right. But damn. That was just, that, you know what, the psychology for that one, I really enjoyed it. As far as just a technical aspect goes, when I think about this match from a technical aspect, it delivered. And I love these two girls. They actually seem to have really good chemistry with each other. And did I catch the color commentating right, that this was the third time that these two had locked it up? So they were a bit familiar with each other previously, if that's the case. Duh, but to see how everything pretty much had climaxed to what happened tonight, seriously, I was under the impression that this was like the first time that these two were hooking up, because I'm sadly still a few episodes behind on NXT. I watched a nice amount, but not enough to get caught up in real time. And, you know, sadly, you know, when you're doing a show and then you work and you're doing some side business and all that other stuff, it's a little bit hard to kind of really sit down and binge the way that you want to binge. So I should definitely be caught up though before this coming weekend is out, give or take. But closing moments of this matchup, let's talk about this one. And I love the sequence that came about towards the end as well. That one was actually pretty badass. According to my notes here for this one, we saw at one point Kairi Sane come in with a leg submission maneuver on Baszler. Baszler turns that into a clutch submission maneuver as Sane looks as though she's getting ready to fade out, but suddenly she's able to break the hold by grabbing the bottom rope. Baszler then comes in with a heel hook. Sane counters that and looks for a submission win, but Baszler gets to the bottom rope. Sane then ties up Baszler through the ropes there. Referee has to come in. Sane managed to break it. Sane then connects with an Alabama Slam, goes to the top looking for not one, not two at this point. Towards the end, this was her third big elbow drop attempt. Baszler gets her knee up just in time as she tries to go for her trademark. I'm going to try to pronounce this. If I butcher this, you guys got to forgive me. Looks like she's calling this the Kurifura. You guys got to help me with that one. That's what happens when you don't watch it enough, you're going to botch these names. So you guys going to have to help me sound it out a little bit. And trust me, next time we mention that submission move, we'll have it down. But she goes for that move again, that signature move. And Sane manages to counter, rolls her up, is how she actually had picked up the victory and won the NXT Women's Championship. So I did not see that finish. I did not see that outcome happening. I honestly was under the impression that Baszler was going to retain. Something for me was just kind of going, well, look, at this point, it makes a lot of sense for... You got to help me sound it out. I mean, if you know, we can't just put it... I know how to spell it. It's how you say it, you know, kind of like Kairi. you know, good luck closed captioning trying to figure it out when out. It's like closed captioning. What the hell did you just say? Closed captioning is gonna be like, Lee, I can't translate that, dog. I don't know what the hell you said, but no. For those of you that's kind of going, yeah, Lee, what's the move you're trying to name? It is spelled K-I-R-I-F-U-D-A. That's one way I'm seeing it spelled, and then we got another way that it's spelled, K-A-R-I-K-U-D-A. So, you know, in this case, I'm just going to be like, submission maneuver. There you go. Play it safe. Yay! But no, I did not see this coming. I thought for sure that, all joking aside, Baszler was going to hold on to that title and maybe drop it at the Evolution pay-per-view. I thought, if anything, she would hold it that long. I mean, since it's only a couple of months away, these girls got this pay-per-view event coming up on October 28th. So here we are right now. It's August 18th. It's like, okay, yeah, that kind of, why not, right? Be a really cool moment, yeah? But it's going in this direction now, so I'm not knocking it, and you know, I can't help but wonder how Upper Brass is looking at Kairi Sane, and I can't help but wonder if they're also looking at a girl like Asuka, and you know, you just can't help but feel, because if you're a fan of Asuka, you're going, damn, she's not on the SummerSlam card, right? At least not at the time that we're doing this show. She's not on the SummerSlam card. But, like, she was involved in a, what was it, a Nickelodeon slime challenge with Jeff Hardy, and you're going, well, that's nice, but, like, how about some in-ring action? What the hell? You know, it's freaking, you know, Mark, I'm not going to pronounce it. I learned a long time ago doing this show, if you can't pronounce it, you didn't practice pronouncing it, don't pronounce it at all. Preparation. That's what a buddy of mine, that's a fellow podcaster as well, had told me a long time ago. He said, if you don't know how to say it, don't say it. You can try, but if it don't sound right when it comes out of your mouth, forget about it. So, forget about it. Let's go on. We got one more match to talk about. Smash the likes button. Smash it. Give me them likes. One more match to talk about, and that is the last man standing match that had consisted of Tommaso Ciampa defending the NXT Championship against Johnny Gargano. Dude, when I think about wrestling matches, when I think about rivalries, this just, my God, this is your Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart. This is your Kurt Angle, Brock Lesnar. This is your Owen Hart, Bret Hart. This is your Eddie Guerrero, Rey Mysterio. Man, the way these two guys have been feuding, it's right up there with those, right? And I love what these two men have been able to give us in that ring these multiple times that they've been hooking it up. I take my hats off to both of these men. And watching these two guys in their feud, it puts such a big smile on my face as a pro wrestling fan, because it's one of those type of rivalries that when you really stop and you think about it, I mean, we all can have our different, you know, well, it reminds me of this guy versus, we all can, but if you are a hardcore wrestling fan and you appreciate wrestling of the early 2000s, the 90s, 80s, and beyond, right? You know, going way back, you appreciate a program like this, because you don't really see it like this in today's era of pro wrestling. And that's the God's the honest truth. So what these two men have been able to do, really nice and old fashioned. I love it. I really love it. And I'm telling you, I would love to know who is in charge of booking this match, because just the way that they told the story, especially leading up to the finish. I love the fact that basically the way this match begins is Johnny Gargano, he's not waiting for the bell to ring. He's going right at freaking Tommaso. He's attacking the hell out of this dude. Why wait for the bell? I love that. Yes, you guys have been at it that hard. It is that passionate of a feud. The hell with the bell. Attack each other. Love that. I ate that up. When I had saw that tone that was set for this last man standing match, I knew in my heart of hearts off the break, as far as ring psychology goes, I ain't got to worry about nothing. These guys are going to deliver another classic. Let's go. And for me, the match of the night. If there's one match, and I think most people would agree, if there's one match you have to take from tonight's NXT TakeOver event and say, hey, you, new guy, you're not familiar with the NXT brand, here, watch this match. This pretty much is what NXT is all about. If that doesn't get them hooked on continuing to watch NXT, I don't know what will. But yeah, my hat's off to everybody that booked this match, and in particular to Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa. They did a fantastic job with this one. So let's talk about some of the closing moments in this one. And again, really great in-ring psychology. Really, really loved it. You know, you didn't see no... it's a great arm drag. You know, nah. This was just two guys kind of beating the hell out of each other. You know, I liked it. Loved it. Ate it up. I want more, man. I want more of this. So, closing moments of this one. And it was hilarious, too. So, at one point, Johnny Gargano, he actually removes the padded mat, from one corner of the ring. And he gets a little bit of payback from what Tommaso did to him a couple of months ago. You guys remember that little spot. So you're going, oh, damn, no, wait, no, that's got to be over. And somehow Tommaso kicks out. You're going, well, what the hell do you do now? What's left? What do you do here? And, like, eventually, these two guys, they take it on over to the stage ramp area, and they're at the top of the stage, and Johnny freaking Wrestling goes, hey, got me some handcuffs here, and he handcuffs freaking Tommaso's wrist to one of his arms at that, if I'm not mistaken, it was one of his arms. He handcuffs to this big old guard fence rail. And Tommaso's trying desperately to get out of this, but Gargano is just beating the holy crap out of this poor dude. You feel bad. You actually kind of feel bad for this man. I know I was, because it's like, God, just, you know, somebody come out and throw the towel. This is just so wrong, you know, this poor guy. But it seemed like in these moments, Gargano was just kind of, okay, I got you where I want you. Now I'm really just going to have some fun with you. And remember, I told you the ring psychology for this one, it was good until we saw the weirdest thing happen, right? So, closing moments, the fans, they're chanting, fight forever, all right? Fuck you to Tommaso. I mean, everything was just, it was perfect. Everything was in unison for this matchup, right? So, we see Gargano, he connects with a super kick. Fans, they're chanting one more time, come in with another kick. So, Gargano grabs Ciampa's face. Ciampa's actually pleading with Johnny Wrestling. He's apologizing to him. And Johnny's going, no, we're way past sorry. And he hits him again with another big kick. Referee starts to count. Doesn't really look too good as far as the referee counting, because it looks like Tommaso is still, not quite completely out of it just yet. So, once again, We see Gargano. He stands as Ciampa barely coming to, pleading again. Gargano exposes his knee, charges, nails Ciampa in the head. Gargano then also tumbles over Ciampa and lands on a table, falling off of it to the floor. The referee is now counting as eventually, and you talk about what a fantastic freaking finish that this was, by the way. We ended up seeing the referee getting ready to count 9 and then 10, and somehow we see Tommaso Ciampa, like where he's handcuffed, he's able to maneuver his body and basically stand on the floor just outside of that piece of the top of the stage area where he was. You gotta actually go back and see the footage of this, because the finish was just so freaking, you're like, wow, what the hell. It was a great freaking finish. I haven't seen that much of a well thought out finish for a match like this in quite a long time, because I'm wondering, like, okay, how's this gonna, because at one point, many points during this match, you're going, Johnny Gargano could do this. It's possible. He actually could walk away. But no, not on this night, at least. Not on this night. I was badass. I love this whole psychology. It was freaking awesome. I love this match so much. I think I actually will check it out again before SummerSlam. It was actually that damn good. And the fans, shocked. A little bit of silence. And then it turned into boos. And then the heckling and fuck you, Ciampa, all over again. Loved it. Loved it. This is the guy. He needs to have a new theme song. And his theme song needs to be one of my personal favorites from Rob Halford of Judas Priest. I loved it when he was doing this thing. And he still does it from time to time. He's got his band Halford. And there's this one song that I love. I think it's off of the, I want to say, Halford Retribution album. It's been a couple of years since I listened to it, but the name of the song is When You Love to Hate. And I think that would just suit Tommaso so well. And he kind of gives me that Chris Jericho vibe, like when Chris Jericho had first, well, not the very first time he came back, but one of those last go rounds he came back and he wasn't saying anything for several weeks. And you're going, come on, Jericho, say something, like, what the hell? And then when he went that whole heel route, he's coming out, he's got no music going and all that. And there was that point where Jericho was like, no, I don't want to have my game skin be in the next 2K or any video game. I don't want to have no t-shirts made of me. Forget that. Tommaso, I like the fact that he's taking a page out of Jericho's book, and he's like, I'm not going that route. You can forget that. You know, I'm not going there. No, I don't want no merchandise. I don't want nothing. You know, you go, when you look at the finish to Tommaso and Johnny, you go, well, okay, that was a good finish. But then if you're Johnny Gargano, you're kind of going, so wait a minute, dude. As you're on your way to hit freaking Tommaso Ciampa in the face, like your knee hits part of the stage production crew equipment, whatever the hell that was, or their stage equipment, right? So you're like, man, what a dumbass. You know, seriously, you're like when you see it, you're going, damn, okay, I get it. You're trying to make your point. No mercy on this dude, but you were so reckless that you injured yourself. Like, what the hell? And if there was one critique that I could have about this match, I wish that Gargano would have been screaming. That's the God's to honest truth. I wish he would have been screaming as soon as his knee had hit that piece of stage equipment. And then just have him be on the ground and he's just bellowing out in pain, and he's holding on to that knee, and he's just screaming, and he's just rolling back and forth on the ground. He's not even coming up to his feet. He's just screaming. And I think if you would have just had it go like that, and Morrow just really selling it, and then Johnny somehow trying to work through that pain, trying to somehow get up on his own 2 feet because he hears the count, but the knee, because of what he did to it, for me, that just would have made a lot more sense. And I tell you, I really did not like seeing the event go off with him at the stage ramp, and he just has this look on his face like, oh my God, I can't believe I lost once again. I can't believe it happened to me again. Like, what can I do? Well, oh my God. I mean, he's acting like he just had to put his dog to sleep. That's how he was acting. When instead, it's like, okay, no. If you're going knee first like that, you're charging that hard and you're going knee first into equipment like that, you should be screaming your ass off. And you should be down on the ground, and you should be... How many of you out there, I know I have, how many of you out there growing up been kicked in the knee? You 9 times out of 10 have fell to the ground. You were freaking, depending on how old you were, you might have been bawling your eyes out, and you were favoring that knee that you were kicked in, and you're just on the ground for several minutes. And people got to come, they got to help you, all that. I mean, anybody remember what went down with, Tanya Harding? Anybody remember that? I'm just saying. If we're going to be taking some cues, there's your cues. But regardless, I'm a stickler for detail, but regardless of that spot, I would still have to say that that was the best match of the night, okay? But anybody can relate to that. If you've been kicked in the knee, you would agree with me. You definitely, you're not going to be looking like your dog was euthanized, okay? You're going to be crying, you're going to be screaming, you're going to be hitting the ground, and you're not really sure what's going on because you can't move it or whatever. Eventually there's big old red irritation, and depending on how bad you were kicked, it's going to turn into a big-ass grapefruit knot on top of your knee and all that. So, but overall, NXT TakeOver tonight gets a pass. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Let's go to the polls now. We got a couple of polls that's up right now. We got one poll up on Twitter, and we got another poll up on YouTube. Let's refresh, and let's see what we got here on YouTube. And we'll also get ready to open up the phone line. So anybody that wants to call into the show, you'll be able to do so right after we go over these polling results we got so far. And let's see here. Actually, you know what? Bear with me a second here. Let's do that again. We'll put that up here. See, we had the right link out on YouTube, I see, but we sadly did not put up a poll, which is okay because our Twitter poll, we actually had got a good amount of folks that came in on the Twitter poll. So I'm actually gonna go to the Twitter poll in just a second here. But for you guys watching on YouTube, okay, so now if you go over to the communities tab on the YouTube channel, you guys will actually see the poll. So vote that way. And now let's go to Twitter and let's look at the polling results we've got so far. All right, so we have so far about over 150, give or take, of people that voted so far, and we've basically got an overwhelming 98% of people that are saying they enjoyed NXT TakeOver tonight. There's only about 9% of folks that felt that the event was a thumbs down. Yeah, I tried to keep it very simplistic on this one. I didn't want to do a staying in the middle. It was either a thumbs up or a thumbs down. So that speaks pretty good, large volumes that we have people that pretty much unanimously voted for the event that way. Okay, so who wants to call into the show and talk about what your highs and lows were for tonight's NXT TakeOver event? You want to call in? Let me know right now. Sound off. And the number we can get you guys here. So I get ready to pull that up. Let's see here. You gotta bear with me because I'm just now Setting this up here. Okay, so now we got that. Yeah, so okay, we brought back a phone number so you guys can actually call into the show and you can go live, all that good jazz, you know. And I think that's pretty freaking cool that we're doing that for you guys here again. It's been a good minute. And now the way I have this set up, you cannot leave voicemail messages, none of that stuff. And, you know, this number was made possible, you know, it's online. That's how it basically exists. So the only time the number is going to be valid is basically whenever I'm live on the air. That's pretty much how it goes down. So if you guys want to call in, you could do so right now. And I should be able to sync you guys in when you call. You can call 202. That's the area code, 202-697-9449. That's 202-697-9449. And as we potentially get ready to open up the phone lines here, give you guys a friendly reminder, we've got the SummerSlam Aftershow. That's going to be coming you guys' way this Sunday night. That's going to be August the 19th, 2018. We're going to do a simulcast. We'll do that here on YouTube, and we'll also come on live via Spreaker. Also be available via the RCWR Show app, available for free in the Google Play Store. All over the place, man. Use the keywords, the RCWR Show. That should actually be a pretty damn good episode. I'm actually looking forward to that one. See what you guys are saying in the chat here. Yeah, I'm with you, Mark. With regards to Kairi Sane taking on Shayna Baszler, I don't think many of us were expecting for that to come about. As far as the finish goes, I would definitely have to agree with you. Shout out to Austin. Boy, this show was everything you could ask for. Boomster. Cole goes for NXT title. Toni Storm wins Mae Young Classic. Faces Kairi Sane. Joins Undisputed. That's a nice idea, Boom. Like that. Let's see what else we got here. And we got another vote for Toni Storm. Toni in there with the Undisputed Era. A lot of people want to see Toni Storm with the Undisputed Era. Let's see what else we got here. Yeah, I'm with you, Shaba. Shaba's talking about the match between EC3 and Velveteen Dream. He felt that that match was average. I think for a lot of us, you know, in retrospect, that match, you know, it was okay, but it wasn't anything. My God, I gotta watch this again, you know. Let's see what else we got here. Don't worry, I will have Shayna Baszler's finisher name down. Don't worry about that. Let's see here. How can you just get home from Takeover? Reggie saying, just got home from Takeover. Wait, you were at Takeover? Shit, you know, let me still be over there, man. If I'm still over there, you know, I'm not leaving and going straight back to the hotel. I'm going to go get my damn drink on. That's how I'm doing that. Let's see here. Let's see here. All right, this is your moment, guys. All right, so I read all the interactions in here. Kendo, I disagree with that. Kendo saying in the chat room that it seems as though Hunter, Triple H, is burying the NXT women ahead of Evolution. Kendo, all due respect, you would have to elaborate a little bit more for people in the chat room and for those that's going to be checking this out on demand. You're going to have to elaborate a little bit more on why you feel that way, because with the phenomenal matchup that Kairi Sane and Shayna Baszler had tonight, and just honestly looking at what's been happening with the women's division and NXT in general, one could actually make the argument that no, the women's division in NXT is as strong as ever. So I don't know. I think that's to each its own, but for me, I'm just not seeing that respectfully, Kendall. Adam Cole Ricochet, yeah, I'm with you, Gino. I would have to say that was probably the second best match of the night. And okay, guys, look, if y'all not gonna call into the show, I am more than happy to end the stream because I do want to go on ahead and check out my live PD right now. So I'm all fine for that as far as I'm concerned. All right, so on that note, we're gonna go ahead and why only one women's match per NXT Takeover? Kendall, I can counter that and say, why only 5 matches at NXT Takeover? You're talking to the wrong person, and this would be my message. This would be my message to everybody. When you see that there are some things that you're not feeling with regards to NXT Takeover, I would highly, if I could, I would. But what I would do, if I were you guys and you feel a bit indifferent with certain aspects you see from these takeover events, Triple H does a live Facebook stream, and he's been doing it past several months now. I would put the question out there and be like, hey, blah, 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 blah. Another way that you can have your question probably be addressed, Triple H usually does NXT conference calls either a week or the week of an NXT takeover event. And if there was ever a time to whatever wrestling or sports media outlet you follow, and maybe you have some type of a rapport with them or whatnot, you can easily tag them and be like, hey, can you do me a solid? Can you ask Triple H why, blah, 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 blah is going down? And I'm telling you, I've seen the transcripts and have listened to the audio of some of these conference calls that Triple H does. And they ask him some really damn good questions. It's not always, oh, NXT. The questions that he gets from the press are questions that you and I and everybody else is like, okay, if we had the opportunity to talk to Triple H and pick his brain on something, like somebody this week in a conference call asked him, hey, what do you think is going to happen with Neville? Is there any way you guys can work out a deal with Neville and have him help out with NXT UK? And Triple H straight up was like, that's actually a really good idea. I haven't spoken with Neville, and obviously there's some things that needs to be ironed out, and for all we know, there might be a lot more to what Triple H was putting out there, but some really good questions is thrown at him all the time when it comes to these NXT conference calls and when he does the NXT Q&A after the events are over. So I would definitely say get at him that way. Let's see what we got here. Mark, one match for the women on NXT is better than... Yeah, at the end of the day, yeah. I mean, look, don't worry, guys. Don't worry. Women are going to be representing big time at SummerSlam. We've got the Women's Evolution pay-per-view that's going to be coming up. So you know what, man? It's all good as far as I'm concerned. But for me, if there was one bone that I had to pick on with regards to NXT and these takeover events, I want more wrestling. And it just seems like, man, 5 matches, 6 matches. Sometimes I want to see 8 matches. I'm not asking too much. I don't need 10, 14, 15 like the main roster's doing. Sometimes I just be like, damn, it's going off already? It's still kind of early. Why don't we take it to 10 o'clock or whatever? Give us like 8 matches. Call it a day, But, it's all good. All right, so we're going to go on ahead. We're going to end the stream on that note. I do appreciate you guys that spent your Saturday night with me as we were talking about the NXT TakeOver event. Hope I made a new fan out of you, especially if it's your first time checking out the show. If it is, welcome. We talk all things wrestling, entertainment, and beyond, and been doing so since 2011. So do consider subscribing. Hit that subscribe button down below, and also click on the bell notification so you never miss out. At this point, we'll come at you guys live on Sunday, August the 19th, 2018, as soon as SummerSlam wraps up. It's our special SummerSlam after show. We'll be right here again. You all's interactions. We'll have the phone lines open for those of you that may be interested in calling in, all that good stuff, man. So should be a pretty solid after show. I'm actually looking forward to that. I believe we're doing that after show. As far as I'm concerned, I'm going to say 99.9% we're doing that after show. I'm saying 99.9 because one of my buddies is down a co-host or two, and I think they may need help. I had offered my services, but I think they are good. I think they're okay now. But if they're not, just follow me on Twitter, Facebook at the RCWR Show. We'll definitely give you a heads up. But at this point, I'm pretty damn confident 99.9% we'll be right back here doing the SummerSlam after show for you guys. So everybody in the chat, much love as always. Appreciate those of you that's going to be checking this out on demand and or on the downloads. All right, so on that note, I'm wishing all of you all to be safe. And please be kind to one another. If you're going to be going out this late Saturday night and getting your drink on, please drink responsibly. Do not drink and drive. Get yourself an Uber, a Lyft, call a family member, whatnot. I want to be hearing from you all right here when we get ready to talk about that SummerSlam after show. All right? So, wishing you guys a very good night, good morning. May the good news be yours. Y'all do take care.